All right, Need for Speed Unbound. Yeah, Shadow of the Erd Tree. Way better. Look, man, I just want to put this out there. I love Need for Speed, all right? I've always loved Need for Speed. I've been playing it since I was a kid. Obviously, everybody favors the classics more. I think Ghost was doing a really good job. 2015, the whole vibe and just atmosphere of 2015 was really good. Payback, obviously, you know, Payback. Story good, card system bad. Heat, probably my favorite, okay? And then Unbound was just a mess, all right? Now, a lot of creators just went to Criterion's headquarters. I think it was like 13, 15 of them. And they're under NDA, and I know Theo, Trigger, Guru. I didn't know anybody else. And you know, they represent. They're very well known in the community, and they're very stand-up guys. And I feel like they are going to give good feedback. They know what's good for the games. They've played a ton of hours into these games. I know they can't really talk about much, but after seeing this year 2 roadmap, I have my own issues and I have my own feelings. Now, I wasn't there and they can't talk about it, so it's hard to know exactly what's going to go on. I mean, obviously here they're going to add head-to-head with Audi. Drift and Drag inspired by Need for Speed Underground, which is cool. Hopefully we get the like weaving through the lanes. Cops versus Racers, Hot Pursuit, and then a question mark. But the biggest issue with this game is the matchmaking. It always has been and it always will be. And I have to believe that somebody in that meeting, the 2 days they were there, mentioned the matchmaking. If not, what the hell, man? Look, like I said, I love this. I love the series, but Unbound was a flop. And honestly, hot take, they should just let it die. They should just let it go. They didn't do this for Heat. They didn't do anything in these speed passes, these premium things. I mean, hell, look at my videos. These multiplayer issues need fixed ASAP. Look at this. Even on next gen, we're still limited. We're limited to 100 wraps. Okay? January update. Horrible. Lakeshore Online Volume 2 is an absolute joke. 10 big problems with Volume 2. EA is completely out of touch. Like, it's just been fumble after fumble after fumble. Now, right now, Criterion is a very small team that's left. Every day, EA push everybody to go work on Battlefield, right? Now, obviously, this is for Steam. I don't know what percentage is console, but I guarantee you the biggest part of the player base is on console. But Need for Speed Unbound, only a 14,000 peak of all time. And that was the month it launched. I mean, this is bad, okay? I mean, if you look at Heat, now Heat had a huge all-time peak because it went on sale last September, October. And but even now, look at this, 15,000 players on Steam the last 30 days versus 3,000 for Unbound. It's just Heat. People prefer Heat, right? And I believe Unbound was just on sale for like $3. So if it was on sale, like when Heat goes on sale, the numbers bump up. There's no bump here. But back to the problem with the game, all right? I mean, the matchmaking needs fixed. If they're going to put effort into giving this game more content, what makes people come back is multiplayer. I mean, single player, they add drag racing and a couple drift events. You're going to be done in an hour and be like, all right, I'm bored. But if you can get online and play with people, fine. But the matchmaking, you guys know how it is. You get into a lobby, 16 max, which was already ridiculous. And then you send an invite. You can have 8 players in a race. That means you need 50% of the lobby to have a full race. You know how many people struggled even at launch to get the trophy for completing a playlist with all 8 players or whatever it was? It was impossible. You would get invites. Nobody would join. I would sit there and do my engine swap videos. 20, 30 minutes sending invites. Nobody would join. It was just me. And you can't start the race alone. They need to do like how the matchmaking with how the Crew Motorfest is. You enter a grand race and it's just everybody. They need to have some sort of global matchmaking instead of just the 16 people on your server. It's always been a nightmare, and it's the biggest reason why I quit this game. I can't play. If I'm going to log in and sit there and spam a race and spam a race and spam a race, and then it'll say 2 of 8, like somebody joined, I'm like, oh my God, and then they back out. Or you get into a race and you start whooping their ass, and then they back out, and then you're left to race by yourself in the playlist. I mean, that's the biggest issue with the game. If they're not going to fix that, they should just can it. Let it die. Let it die. Let it go. Put this effort into the next Need for Speed. This year 2 roadmap, this is a joke, honestly. I get it. Like, they're passionate. They want the game to do better, but this isn't the game to do that in. Put this effort into the next game and make it good. I mean, just a couple things about this game. The matchmaking, we just talked about it. It was so hard to get cars from the multiplayer challenges because no one would race. You would need to do like 20 B tier races with a certain car or something to unlock it in multiplayer. And then people only want to do S and S plus. The economy, the money, you would do a playlist with 3 races. And if you got first, you got like $21,000 before they bumped it. I think they doubled it. Now you get maybe 38,000 just about. At least that's what it was before I quit 11 months ago. I'm not re-downloading the game to make a video about this. We're not doing it. That was shit. 3 races, 20 grand. And if you started with, say, 6 people, you would get the multiplier. And then as people dropped out and you finished with only 2 or 3 people, your multiplier went down, which wasn't fair. I mean, let's talk about it's just unbalanced. You would take cars and you could squeeze them down to B tier. Some cars were OP, so like the Testarossa was stupid. There's some cars that just shouldn't be allowed in lower tiers, and there's just OP cars now that everybody knows of, and it's not fun. You know what I mean? But look, they say they're gonna add each volume 1 new major game mode and or feature. Okay, so we already pretty much know what these are, which you can just go back and play those games and have a better experience. Adding these in Unbound is just a mistake. I know that whoever's left of Criterion, they probably got nothing else to do. Work on the next game. Get that going. But anyway, 2 new customizable cars with multiple body kits. Need for Speed style, which Need for Speed does do a very good job at customization. And that's one of the big things why people like it, right? Here's the problem. 2 new cars in 3. I know it's a small team, but 2 new cars in 3 months is a joke. Look at Motorfest. We get like 20 to 30 cars in 3 months, and they have customization. It's not Need for Speed customization, but there's some cars have like 50, 60 front bumpers and wide bodies and like all kinds of stuff. And they're gating this behind a premium speed pass. I've never gone back when the speed passes came out and actually gone through the speed pass. So from what I saw, it was mainly like clothes and emotes effects. Nobody cares about that. But now they're going to have a premium speed pass. They grant you instant access to our hot new vehicles and to earn all of its deep customization. So at least Crew gives it to us for free. Yeah, you can get the year pass and get the cars a week early, but you get everything for free. Or you can like the Lambo, that Roadster, and the Bugatti Atlantic Concept, in-game bucks, good to go. But Need for Speed, they're like, hey, give us more money. I mean, it's EA. I mean, look, just compared to the Crew, that why would I come back for what they might add 3 drift races and 3 drag races? Here's the speed pass. Give us $20. You can have 2 new cars. No, at the time, like the game is $3 right now. If we get 2 new cars, it would say the speed pass, I don't know, let's just say even if it's $15 for a speed pass, you're going to spend $60, the price of a new game, for 8 cars. For what? For a dead game with shit matchmaking? Look, I know all the creators under NDA and they're all like happy about this. I haven't seen like one big creator like have any negative things. I mean, they were there. They know what went on. But if anybody had any sense, they would have brought up the matchmaking. And if it was that big of a deal, which it is a big deal, it should be forefront on this. We heard you. We understand matchmaking is a problem. We will fix that. But everything's in place. They're not going to change it. They're not going to change it. They're going to add new content. People are going to come back for an hour and people are going to be gone. New weekly PvP playlist. That's not going to keep people coming back. The challenges were boring. I never did the link ups or whatever it is. I don't know. But I mean, it does say bug fixes and improvements, but I mean, how many months did it take them to move the race invite pop-up over your car stats? How long do we complain about that? A simple UI thing. Like, this game has just been, like I said, the game has just been L after L after L after, like, I don't like to complain about games like this, but Need for Speed did not. This Unbound was a complete flop, and they need to not update year 2, let it die, and put that effort into the next game. It might be a hot take. I know a lot of people are going to defend it, EA dick riders, but I mean, you got to step back and look at just how, I mean, this game didn't have cops at launch. Cops were added after I stopped playing, which was like 4 or 5 months after launch. It was so long. I don't remember exactly how long. But there was nothing. There was no nighttime at launch for multiplayer. You could only play it. It's an underground street racing game. And we couldn't race at night online. And that's all you did after you finished the story was go online. This game was a flop. It was a flop. Let it die. And then this thing, oh, give us money and you can have the hero cars. And then, you remember EA Play? Oh, everybody had the most wanted BMW at the beginning, and then a month after launch, guess what? You never saw them again. And why was that? Because you paid for EA Play, and usually, okay, you pay for it, whatever, you keep what you got. No, not with EA. You don't subscribe, you cancel your subscription to EA Play, you lose that car. And they gated the Bozozoku Z behind that as well. So that's why you don't see the most wanted BMW anymore, because you have to keep up. Not only do you have to pay for premium speed passes and pay to play the game and get this new stuff, you have to pay to keep EA Play on top of that. It's too much. It's too much. But look, I don't think that this is a good move. I think they should just take this and put this energy into a new game. And I mean, it's 2024. Even when this game came out at the end of 2022, why are we stuck to 16-player lobbies with like matchmaking that's only in that lobby? Literally the worst thing about this game. Anyway, I could rant and go on and on. I don't think this. I think they should can it. I think they should let it die and really push for a new game. But the fact that they're doing this for another year, this will end. This will be 2 years into Unbound, which we used to get a new Need for Speed every 2 years. I get that games are harder to make now. It's more. There's a lot going on, so timelines are getting longer. It was 3 years from Heat to Unbound, so I'm assuming 3, 4, even 5 years from the date the launch of Unbound before we're gonna get a new Need for Speed. It's and this is gonna prolong us getting a new game, which honestly we need a new game and not this. So that's my thoughts. Let me know how you feel about this. I let it die. Anyway, you know the drill. Subscribe, come back. See you on the next one.